Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a quick impromptu video, and I wanted to talk a little bit about CNN having settled the defamation lawsuit with one of the Covington Catholic school kids, Nick Sandmann, who was the main figure in the viral video with Nathan Phillips, the Native American man who was drumming. And so anyway, I just want to say I am absolutely thrilled. I am just thrilled. I'm thrilled for Nick Sandmann. I'm thrilled for his family. I'm thrilled for his attorneys, Lynn Wood, and I'm just thrilled for all of them. And I think of this not just as a victory for Nick Sandmann and his family. I think of this as a victory for everyone who has been subjected to this kind of abuse by the moral outrage industry, especially by the fake news press, by CNN and others, including the Washington Post and the New York Times, etc. This is just a fabulous, amazing victory for all of us. Especially for the people who have already lost their lives because they've been driven to suicide, especially for the people who have had their lives destroyed like mine was. My lifelong human and civil rights career was absolutely decimated by the moral outrage industry. I was defamed by everyone. I was defamed by everyone. I was defamed by the New York Times. I was defamed by CNN. I was defamed by the Washington Post. I was defamed by the ACLU. I was defamed by everyone, by MSNBC, by NBC News. I was by everyone. And I just hope so much that I will also have an opportunity like Nick Sandmann and his family has had to obtain real justice. And it's not about the money. It is not about the money. Because I would almost, in my position, I don't even know if settlements are even really an option for me anymore, because the reason why someone like CNN agrees to a settlement is because they get the other party to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Well, I've already basically broadcast to the entire world how I feel about CNN. So there wouldn't be much point in them having me sign a non-disclosure agreement. I've made myself very clear that I think they are racist, bigoted liars who helped destroy the Living While Black movement by pushing race and hate crime hoaxes like the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax at Yale. And they didn't care if they got an innocent human and civil rights licensed attorney activist like me killed. They didn't care if they drove me to suicide. They didn't care if they destroyed my career. They didn't care if they destroyed my reputation or my livelihood. And all they would have had to do to know that I was perfectly innocent is Google my name. Google my fucking name. So the New York Times can take their much vaunted, journalistic ethics that they like to throw around, and they can shove it up their asses. All they had to do was Google my name, and they would have known that I'm a lifelong human and civil rights licensed attorney activist who would never in a million years engage in racist behavior, who never had engaged in racist behavior, who had only engaged in anti-racism activism. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for Nick Sandmann. I'm just thrilled for him. I'm thrilled for his family. I'm thrilled for his attorneys, and I'm thrilled for all of us. I'm thrilled for all of us who have been falsely accused and cyber mobbed and defamed and who have had our lives destroyed. And I'm especially thrilled for the people who've already committed suicide. I know they're gone, but I know that they know that this is happening. I know that they do. I know that they know that this is happening, and I know that they're pleased to see this happen. We cannot allow the moral outrage industry to destroy one more innocent life. We can't allow them to destroy one more innocent career. We can't allow them to push one more innocent person to suicide. So I'm thrilled. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I just want to ask everyone to please, please donate to my legal fund so that I will also be able to sue CNN, because they need to be held accountable for what they did to me. What they did to me was reprehensible. It was unconscionable. It was disgusting. It was a gross violation of journalistic ethics. And they need to be held accountable for what they did to me. So, and CNN is one of the entities to whom I did send a cease and desist letter, as well as a demand for retraction and apology. And the response that I got from CNN was that they basically told me that they couldn't care less whether I live or die. They couldn't care less whether or not my lifelong human and civil rights career was destroyed. They basically just couldn't care less. They couldn't care less about how they had defamed an innocent nobody, because who am I? Who am I? What resources do I have to go up against a CNN? What resources do I have? I was an innocent nobody. I was living like a hermit at the top of a tower in my isolated dorm room on Yale's campus, and the only thing I wanted in the whole world was to be left alone and in peace, so that I could finish my Saving the World project, my PhD dissertation. So I'll probably have more to say about this in the future, but I just wanted to do a quick impromptu video. I do believe that CNN went ahead and agreed to the settlement with Nick Sandmann because they didn't want to go through discovery. I can only imagine what that would have turned up. And I'm sure it wouldn't have been pretty, and I'm sure it wouldn't have been a good look for CNN. And I'm sure that it would have involved, emails being brought to the public's attention where they probably said some truly horrible and disgusting things. And I'm just hoping that I can scrape together enough in the way of legal funds so that I'll be able to secure my legal representation, and so that I'll also be able to sue CNN. It's more difficult for me because I've been so vocal. I really was in a position where it's sort of a catch-22, because I was really in a position where, I had to be very vocal and very public about, the wrongs that were perpetrated against me by the moral outrage industry, including CNN. But at the same time, that makes it harder for me to obtain a settlement from them, because they have no reason to have me sign a non-disclosure agreement. They get nothing out of it. I've already disclosed everything. So exactly how I feel about CNN and what they did to me. What they did to me was absolutely disgusting. It was reprehensible. It was unconscionable. I don't know how they sleep at night. I hope that for CNN and everyone on that channel, that cable news network who defamed me so egregiously, I hope that selling their souls for a little bit of moral outrage industry money was worth it to them. I hope it was worth it to them. And I just have to remember that, karma will take care of them. Karma will take care of them. But I'm not going to stop trying to raise legal funds so that I can take care of them in the U.S. courts as well for what they did to me. They need to be held accountable for what they did to me. They all do. New York Times, Washington Post, MSNBC, NBC News, GMA, The View, The Daily Show, all of them. They all need to be held accountable for what they did to me. And Yale. Of course, Yale needs to be held accountable for what they did to me. So anyway, I think I'll stop there for now. I'll probably have more to say about this in the future, but I just wanted to do a quick impromptu video and get this out right away. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.